Powered by the Apocalypse, or PBTA rather, is not one singular game, but rather a design philosophy that over-encompasses several different games through several different creators. And the best thing about this is that the game philosophy focuses rather than on rules and all these regulations, and instead on players and GMs taking the narrative in their own hands and playing the game. And the best part about that is many of the games can be translated very well into online play. And with the pandemic, online play has been popular more than ever before. So today, we're going to be talking how you and others can play Powered by the Apocalypse games online right from your computer. Now, before we can jump right into playing the game and kicking some butt for Powered by the Apocalypse, you're going to need to know what tools are effective for running and or playing in a game. Unlike Dungeons & Dragons or Call of Cthulhu or any popular tabletop RPG, you don't need a lot of extensive resources to run or play the game. All I think you need is Discord, a couple of cool bots for your Discord server, and Google Sheets, or Google Docs, or any note tracking or note-taking tool. Those are the only two necessary tools you're going to need to run the game. Discord is to organize all of your thoughts, have voice channels, and generally to communicate with other players and a GM while you're playing the game. And Google Sheets are note tracking software to, track the notes that happen in your game. Fortunately, your Discord setup is super simple. All you need is a voice channel, a dice rolling channel, a text/general channel, and dice bots. That's all you need. Now, you as the GM and or player can ask for different kinds of setups and talk with that with your other players and friends at the table, virtually, on what you want, but that's all you need. You need to be able to communicate with your players and GM. You need to be able to roll for the game, a 2d6 solution, so you don't need a lot of rolls to begin with, or a lot of complicated rolls. And you just need to make sure you can communicate and clear out any clutter, which is why you have a dice channel for all of your dice rolls. Once you have all those channels set up, you're good to go. Obviously, you can have a music bot and other wicked and awesome bots to include in your server, but that's on a need-buy basis, and that depends on you. And concerning note-taking, you can use any kind of software for note-taking, as I mentioned before, whether it's Google Sheets, it's Notion, or Google Docs, or you can have a note-taking channel in your Discord server. Not only does it stream down the amount of applications you need to use, whether you're GMing or playing, but everyone can see all the notes you're taking. And obviously as a GM, you can have a GM-specific channel, but like I said, it all depends on what you want. So you set up your tabletop RPG software, you have your Discord server set up, and you have your note-taking server set up. Now, I did not mention this third optional tool, but you can also use a virtual tabletop. For example, Roll20 or Fantasy Grounds Online, as I think it's called. You can use those as potential ways to host visual media and maps and tokens on your games, but those are very much optional. I know several GMs who don't use those software because many of the games don't really have any range bands or movement bands or anything that's really related to those very much necessities in, say, Dungeons & Dragons or Pathfinder 2e. So, depending on the game and depending on the group, you might use a virtual tabletop, you might not. What matters is you communicate with your GM and or players about what that looks like. For me, I personally don't need one, and I don't really care for one. And in fact, in my games for PBTA, what we do is we just post images of things that we're talking about, or a map that we're looking at, and the GM is often very communicative on what the place looks like as well. So for GMs, be sure to communicate about what your game looks like, and what the places look like, and what the settings look like, especially for players who are visual learners. Overall, I think running a Powered by the Apocalypse game via Discord, a couple of dice bots, and a text and general channel is all you need. Of course, I could be wrong. What do you all think? Am I missing a couple of tools that you would use for your game? Let me know down below in the comment section, and if I missed something, let me know. Overall, Powered by the Apocalypse games are about limiting the amount of rules and regulations and playing now. That means your Discord server and all the other tools relevant to it are going to be about the game itself and the fun that happens along the way. But what if you're confused about PBTA games? Well, I fortunately have a video about it over here. Or what if you're looking for more tools? Maybe you want to complicate your game a little bit more. Well, I have 8 tabletop RPG tools you can definitely check out. Well, if you're interested in any of those, do check them out, and if not, that's also okay. I'm your average everyday queer host, Blurty Disposition, and I hope y'all have an awesome day. Ciao, y'all!